Hello everyone and welcome to the Dill Pickle Movie Network. I'm Dylan Randazzo. Welcome to my first video of New York Film Fest 59 coverage. It is the 59th year of the New York Film Fest, and me being a citizen of New York, I am so happy to be able to return to this film festival. You have to be vaccinated, you have to wear your mask at all times, but it did feel very safe and comforting. Just a great environment to welcome back the film festival, because it's been 2 years since the last film festival, because last year it was all virtual. The film festival still happened, but there wasn't that audience energy that makes the film festival so special. I got to see a really great film to kick off the festival, and that is Joel Coen's The Tragedy of Macbeth. Now, I don't really want to explain the entire plot of Macbeth because it's such a beloved piece of literature that so many people know, but if you are not familiar with Macbeth, I do recommend reading it before you go into it. I think you need a base understanding of Macbeth to really soak in every single ounce of the dialogue, because it is very difficult dialogue to comprehend and grasp at first glance. That being said, even if you're not 100% getting every single word of the dialogue, I think Joel Coen illustrates and portrays this story so efficiently so you're able to understand what's going on. Even if you muted the film, you can still visually tell what's going on. That doesn't mean that everything's laid out for you. There's still a lot of use of metaphor, a lot of underlying things that you can interpret as an audience member, but I think I was definitely able to follow this story better than a lot of other Shakespearean adaptations I've seen. I think that's because Joel Coen did such an interesting thing with the visuals of this film and with the way he told this story that just made me that much more excited to pay close attention and really lean into every detail, and that's what made me pick up the story better. If you're a new Shakespeare fan, I think this is a really good one to really reel you into the style and this lore and the way of speaking that Shakespeare is, because it really is such a unique and amazing art form that I think everyone should be exposed to, because it is such a special, piece of our history is Shakespeare. It's such a beautiful way of writing, and even if you're not a fan of Shakespeare, I think this is going to be a great film to watch. Even if you're not a fan of Shakespeare, to get you interested in this story and what's going on, and especially these performances. The performances are excellent. Denzel Washington plays Macbeth, the titular character, and he is amazing. I mean, he is a veteran actor. We know he's going to be great, but he even shows, even at this age, and he is older, he even commented on the Q&A, he was like, me and Frances McDormand, my co-star, are the veterans. We're like the grandparents of the group. We are the ones who are passing on our knowledge to the younger cast members, and we're taking some of the younger cast members' knowledge and using it for ourselves. But even in his older age, I don't want to say old age, but older age, he still finds ways to excite us and give us something new with his performance that we've never seen in any other performances he's done before. This is one of his most nuanced works, and I think it's my favorite work of his, at least in the past decade. I think he just brings such a great humanity to this role and a darkness. I mean, I love how Joel Coen really embraced the darkness of the story and kind of the eeriness. It is an A24 production, so I knew, it would definitely take an interesting and original direction, but I didn't expect it to be so haunting, so creepy, so spooky, because the source material itself is very eerie and spooky and creepy, and I think some Shakespeare adaptations, especially of Macbeth, haven't leaned into the creepiness and the eeriness of the atmosphere, and I think this is a incredible strength that Joel Coen brings to the work, that Denzel brings to the character. Frances McDormand, as I mentioned, plays Lady Macbeth, and she is equally as exceptional as he is. I mean, she's coming off her third Oscar win, and she is definitely set up to be nominated and could potentially win a fourth Oscar for this. I don't think it'll happen because it is back-to-back. I don't see them giving an award to her back-to-back after giving her one for Nomadland, but she does a great job, and she shows at her older age, I don't want to say old again, but her older age, how she's able to bring something new to her acting style, and like she said in the Q&A, taking some of the stuff she learns from the younger actors and incorporating it to her own performance, and that's great to see. Rounding out the cast are Corey Hawkins as Mcduff, Brendan Gleeson as King Duncan, Harry Melling as Malcolm, that's right, Dudley from Harry Potter is in this cast, and he is very great. Bertie Carvel as Banquo, Catherine Hunter plays all three witches, and she is mesmerizing to watch. She's only in the film very short bits. This is a much shortened version of the full Macbeth. We don't get the entire play spelled out for us, but the scenes with the witches that they did include are just so impactful, and her performance is just, it shows so much range, not only from a vocal performance, but from a physical performance. The stuff she does physically with her body, it really adds to the creepy tone that's set up in this film, being an A24 film and also being a Joel Coen film. Just some of that really distinct style really comes through with her performance. There are so many great veterans in this cast, and I just think it's such a great display of an ensemble just giving their all to this rich text and this rich language and really making it feel fresh and new. I think one of the struggles for adapting Shakespeare is that you want to do something that no one's seen before, but you still want to make it accessible. I think a lot of the past Shakespeare adaptations have really stayed true to the text, but have not been very accessible. They've all kind of been one note. They've all kind of been the same. You get the vibe that, like, this is a Shakespearean movie. You know what to expect. Here, it feels visually and aesthetically unlike anything we've ever seen from Shakespeare for a Shakespeare adaptation, and that's great. And I think it is accessible. I think people are going to be, reeled in by the visuals, by the cinematography, by the music, the sound. I mean, the sound is just like spine tingling. It just kind of sneaks up on you at some points, and sometimes there's no sound and no score at all, and that's even amazing. The silence. I mean, I love how the Coen brothers played with silence in No Country for Old Men. I think the same thing is evident here in Joel Coen's singular effort, just really playing with silence and building tension through absence of sound and use of sound. I think this is going to be one of the definitive adaptations of Macbeth because it is so unique, because it takes such big risks, and because it has a real sense of ownership and artistry to it. I think this was a great way to start off the film festival. I think people who are fans of this text are going to love what they did with it. I think people who don't know the text are going to be maybe confused by a little bit of the language, but still reeled in by the performances and the style. And I just think it's an overall very satisfying watch. I think it'll be up for a lot of Oscars, if not for the bigger awards, definitely for a lot of the technical awards. I just think it's a really, really amazing film and a really, really great way to open this festival. And if all the films in this festival live up to the level of The Tragedy of Macbeth, then I think we're in for a great, great festival. This film premieres in theaters on Christmas and will come to Apple TV Plus in January, so you have to wait a little bit longer to see it. So if you like this review, if you like the movie, if you saw it, if you can't wait to see it when it comes to Apple TV Plus or theaters, if you're lucky enough to get it in a theater near you, give me a comment down below. Let me know what you thought or what you think of the trailer, at least, if you've seen the trailer, and if you're excited for this film. And please like, comment, subscribe. It really helps the channel grow, and I really appreciate it, especially as we're going to get into more film festival reviews. I will be reviewing films like Power of the Dog and some other big films, including Dune, French Dispatch. It's going to be a really exciting few weeks here at the New York Film Festival. So thank you for watching. I'll see you next time.